we had discussed about password hash synchronization. So in case of password hash synchronization, what was happening? The password was uh, getting fetched from on-premises Active Directory to Azure Active Directory in the form of hash. So basically, your password was getting stored on the cloud. So let me draw one diagram. So what was happening in this case? Let's say this is on premises, this is AD Connect, this is your Azure AD. Let's say this is the user account. When this user account move from here to here, so basically it will present here also. So let me make it in this way. So this password, so this user will sync up here. So basically, along with user ID, the password is also getting sync up in this case. But the password will be sync up in the form of the hash. So generally what is happening, the password, the user password is getting stored inside the cloud. Okay, so password is getting stored here. So some of the organizations has concern about it, that the username and basically the password is getting stored in the cloud, and they do not want that their employee password should move out from their on-premises environment. Okay, they have the concern regarding the security. So they do not want that the user password should move out from this on-premises, right? So in this situation, other authentication method comes into the picture, and this authentication known as pass-through authentication. Okay, so what happened in case of pass-through authentication? First of all, let's understand the flowchart. Then we will go ahead and deploy this one. So let's say this is a user here. Okay, and this user is trying to access an application which is integrated with the Azure Active Directory. Let's say Office 365. So first of all, what will happen? There will be a browser. On that browser, he will try his Azure Active Directory username and password. Okay, so the first step is that user try to access application. So this is your first step. Now user redirected to the Azure AD for sign in. So request will reach here to the Microsoft Azure Active Directory, and Microsoft Azure Active Directory will prompt for the username and password, means provide the username and password. So you will give your username and password. Okay. Now, what will happen here in the Microsoft Azure directory itself, username and encrypted password placed on a queue. It will be placed in a queue here, right? So now it is in a queue. So the fifth step is on-premises agent pick up the request from the queue. So generally what happens, whenever I configure this pass-through authentication, in this configuration, I have to install one pass-through authentication agent also. Okay, so we will install an agent. So what this agent is going to do, this agent will pick up the request from the queue. Right now, the request was in queue, password is in encrypted form. Okay, now pass-through authentication agent has picked up this request. Now sixth, agent decrypt password using its password, using its private keys. Now this agent will decrypt this password using its private key now. Okay, so sixth step is done. On seventh step, now agent validate username and password against Active Directory. So validation, it is coming here on the on-premises Active Directory. Now it will validate whether the username which is provided by the end customer or the employee, the username and the password which is provided, whether it is valid or not. So that validation is happening at the on-premises Active Directory level here. Okay, let's say validation happened. So what will happen? Active Directory return result to the agent. Okay, eighth, now agent returned response to the Azure Active Directory. Ninth, and the 10th step is Azure AD complete the sign-in process. And if successful, user get access to the application. So in this overall process, if you conclude it, so what is happening actually, the verification or the validation is not happening at the Microsoft Azure Active Directory level. The validation of your password is happening at the on-premises Active Directory level. And to channelize this mechanism, we need a pass-through agent which need to be installed. So basically, this is the work of the pass-through authentication agent to pick up the request from the queue, send it to the on-premises Active Directory and get it validated. Once validation is done, again, it is returning it back to the Microsoft Azure Active Directory here. In case of password hash synchronization authentication method, all of your authentication was happening at the cloud level. But in this scenario, the validation is happening in the on-premises Active Directory because your company do not want that the password should leave your on-premises Active Directory because of the security reasons. So let's configure this one. And then we will get into the more detail about the pass-through authentication here. So how to configure this? So what I will do, come here on internet, go to google.com and say Azure AD Connect, download. Fine, so click on download. And run this one. Accept the license agreement, click on continue. Here you come and click on customize setting. So click on it. So just ignore these options for now and directly click on install. So it is trying to install the Microsoft SQL and synchronization services. So here you can see that by default it is set to password hash synchronization. So now I want to change it to the pass-through authentication. Okay, and also I want to enable the single sign-on. So select this button also. So we are trying to do two practical here. One is we are trying to install the pass-through authentication. Okay, also we want to enable the single sign-on. So how exactly this single sign-on work and how it will behave after this overall configuration, that we will verify later, and I will explain you also in between. So when I set this pass-through authentication, what will happen? One agent is going to install here. So in this PPT, you can see that there is a pass-through authentication agent, and this agent is very critical in this sort of authentication here, right? So this pass-through authentication agent only is picking up the request from the queue and send it to the on-premises Active Directory. And then when validation happen, result comes again to this pass-through authentication agent, and then it further give it to the Microsoft Azure Active Directory here. So this component is very, very critical, right? So what is happening right now, when I'm selecting this pass-through authentication option, I'm trying to install that agent on this particular virtual machine. So go ahead and click on next. Here it will ask about the Azure AD Global Administrator. So the account is Azure admin @learninghubtech.in. So already we have one account in our Azure Active Directory, and on this account we have given the global administrator role also. So mention the password also and go ahead and click on next. Fine. So right now it says that no directories are currently configured. So what I will do, I will click on add a directory here, and AD forest account, and AD account with sufficient permission is required for periodic synchronization. So what is happening? I need one AD account with sufficient permission for periodic synchronization. So there are two options. Do you have any existing account or do you want to create it? So what I will do, I will set it to the create new AD account. So it will take care of that account and assign the sufficient permissions also. Other than that, I also need to give the user account and the password who has the enterprise admin privilege. So first you need to mention your domain name, that is learninghubtech.in, and slash user account is on-prem admin. So on this particular account, we have given the enterprise admin privilege. So password and click on OK. Okay. Now you can see that it is showing up your directory, and from here also you can select your directory here. So go ahead and click on next, and just let it be the default setting. Here it is asking that you want to sync up all of the domains and organization unit, or do you have any selection? Do you want to select a particular domain or organization unit from this particular list here, right? So what I will do, I will set it to all. So everything is selected here. Let it be the default setting. And these are the settings related to the identifying users. Let it be for now. And I'm just going with the optional features. Also, let me select your password write back feature here. So these are the optional features. If you want, you can deploy it. Okay, so right now I will just go ahead and select the password write back on this. Click on next. So it is asking me to enter a domain administrative account to configure your on-premises forest for use with single sign-on. So I had enabled the single sign-on also. So it is asking me to log in here with a account which has the domain administrator privilege. So let me verify. Basically, I have Active Directory here itself. Come here and go to India user. So this is on-prem admin. Just check the if it is member of domain administrators. So yes, so this particular account is the member of domain admins also, right? So what I will do to enable this single sign-on, because single sign-on also we are going to configure along with this practical. So click on enter credential, mention the account that is on-prem admin, and the password is this one, and click on OK. Go to next. And configure this one. So this configuration will take a while. We'll wait for some time. So meanwhile, what we can do, we can create a virtual machine, and that virtual machine I want to join into the domain. So come to the portal here. In this portal, come to the virtual machine and click on add virtual machine. So go to resource group. So my RG is resource group. Virtual machine name, I will call it VM1. Region is Central India. Server 2016. So let's take the same configuration here. 2 virtual CPU, 8 GB RAM. This is your username. Password. Okay, and click on come here on networking part. So basically what I'm trying to do, I will create this virtual machine, then further I will add this virtual machine into the domain. Okay, and where is my domain controller? I just want to keep it very simple so that we do not have any problem or any confusion in between. So what I will do, I will place this virtual machine in the same network where I have deployed my Active Directory also. So how to verify that? Go here on virtual machine. On this DC01, actually I have deployed one on-premises Active Directory. Okay, so if I check the network of this one, so the network is my RG-VNet and the subnet is default. So just for the simplification purpose, I will put the second virtual machine, that is VM1, into the same network and same subnet. And I also enable a public IP address. Just go ahead and create this one. Once this virtual machine is created, I will add into the domain. Okay, so another thing, let me draw one diagram first. So let's say this is the network, same network, myrg-vnet. On this, I have deployed one DC01 virtual machine. When I deployed this DC01, inside this, I have also deployed the Active Directory. When I trying to install this particular Active Directory, there was an option that do you want to install DNS on this particular server? I said yes. So DNS is also installed here on DC01. Okay, so basically you have AD as well as the DNS, right? And what is the IP address of this particular virtual machine? So how to check that one? So to check this, come here on your portal. Virtual machine DC01, and this is the IP address 10.0.0.4 here. So if I come to the diagram, so basically this is the IP address 10.0.0.4. Now what I'm trying to create, I have created a second virtual machine, and the virtual machine name is VM1, and this virtual machine actually I want to join into the domain. Okay, it means I want to join here in the Active Directory in the domain. So when I join this VM into this domain, so I have to redirect this VM. I should tell them where is the machine, where is the domain controller, right? So what I need to do, I have to go into this VM1 and do some setting in the network adapter settings here. So in DNS, I have to give this particular IP address. So I need to change the DNS here and mention this particular IP address here. Okay, so that it can identify your domain controller, it can reach here and contact to the Active Directory and the domain controller in this scenario. So same thing we will try to do. Come here, my virtual machines are ready. So come here on VM1 and then click on connect. So user ID is this one. Click on OK and yes. Fine. So come here, click on yes. Come on this network setting, right click on it, go to open network settings, go to change adapter setting, click on it, properties, and internet protocol version 4 properties. I want to change the DNS, so select this one and mention the IP address of your DC01 as a DNS here. So 10.0.0.4, click on OK. As soon as you apply this setting, what will happen? You will lose your connection. So connection will be lost. So once connection is lost, reboot this virtual machine and try to connect once again. So after some time, it will lose the connection. Okay, so just cancel this one. What I need to do, come here on overview, restart this virtual machine. Fine, so cancel this and try to connect once again. So sometime what happens, this connection will not happen. So do not worry in that case, wait for some more time, okay, and try it once again. So meanwhile, what we will do, we will go to our DC01. This configuration is done. So go ahead and click on exit, cancel all these things here. And now what we can do, we can go to the Azure Active Directory. In Azure Active Directory, if you come here on Azure AD Connect, here you can see that the password hash sync is disabled and the password through authentication is enabled here. The same thing I had enabled. Okay, so for that purpose only on DC01, I had installed a agent also. So pass-through authentication is enabled. Seamless single sign-on is also enabled. Okay. And the password hash sync is disabled in this case, right? So it is showing up properly now. Let's wait for some time to connect to your VM1. Again, let's try to connect it. Okay, now it is prompting for password. Provide your password and click on OK. Yes. Okay. Now, right click on system, click on change setting, click on change and click on domain. So I want to join it into the domain. What is the domain name? Domain name is Learning Hub Tech.in and click on OK. Okay, fine. So this is asking for your username and password. If you do not change the DNS IP address here, so it will not be able to contact to your domain controller. If it is not contacting to your domain controller, in that case, it will not prompt you for the username and password. So you will get the error message otherwise here. So mention a user account who has the privilege to add a machine into the domain. So what I will do, I will use the on-prem admin account to join it and go ahead and click on OK. The following error occurred: attempting to join Learning Hub. The username and password is incorrect. So let me try once again. Okay, so welcome to Learning Hub Tech.in domain. Click on OK and it will try to reboot this one, right? Fine, so let it reboot. So you can see that it has disappeared. It means the reboot is happening. Now, two things I was trying to do. The first thing was I was trying to configure pass-through authentication. So pass-through authentication I have done. Now I want to do the single sign-on. I want to do the configuration for the single sign-on. For single sign-on, I need to do some extra configuration here, where inside my DC01. So let's get into DC01 and what are those settings? So those settings I have mentioned here in this document. So these are some group policies and registry setting that we have to configure, and then only the single sign-on is going to work in this case, right? So if you want to study more about this, so this is the URL, and this is the URL of Microsoft document where everything has given in detail. So what I have done, I have taken the main important points which we are supposed to do here to enable the single sign-on. So what is the first point here? The first point says that go to the group policy. So I need to get into the user configuration. So what I will do, come here on DC01 and I told you how to open the group policy. Come here on tool, then go to the group policy management. Here you have a default domain policy. So just go here and right click on it and then click on edit. So when you click on edit, there are two policies. One is called computer configuration. Second is your user configuration. We are supposed to go in user configuration, then click on this policy here. Okay. After that, you can see user configuration, come here policy, go to the administrative template, then Windows component. So administrative template, then go to the window component. Here we need to go to Internet Explorer. This is your Internet Explorer. Inside this Internet Explorer, you can refer it once again. You have to go to Internet Control Panel and Security page. Then you need to select this Site to Zone Assignment List. So Internet Control Panel and Security page. Come here. So this is Internet Control Panel. Inside this you have the security page. Here you will find out one setting called Site to Zone Assignment List. So click on it and By default, it will be like this, not configured. Okay. So just click on enable because I had done it before. So that is the reason it was showing up. So first you click on enable, then you click on show here. There you are supposed to give some value name and the value. Which value name and value you need to give up. So this is the URL you are supposed to give. And on value, you need to give 1 here. So copy this. This URL is not properly given. Let me so mention value name and in value mention 1 here and click on OK. So basically what is this? This is a URL for the auto login. In single sign-on, I just want to enable the auto log on. So no need to give any password. Automatically it will log on. If you have logged into any machine who is already joined into the domain, okay, one time it will only ask password when you are logging into the machine. After that, if you are opening any portal which is integrated with Azure, that time it will not ask you the password. So that is known as the auto login, and this URL is going to be used. So same thing I'm going to mention here, right? So just go ahead and click on apply. So this document I will share with you. Okay. Now the second setting, what we need to do, again, you go to the user configuration, policy, administrative template. Okay. This is the same path. Only thing is that we need to get into this intranet zone and we need to find out this allow update to status bar via script, this setting, and we need to enable this one. So to enable this one, again, come here on policy. So come here on intranet zone. This is what the document is saying. After that, so this is the setting, allow update to status bar via script. So click on it. So by default, it will be not configured. I have enabled this one. So go ahead and click on enable and click on OK. So this setting is also enabled. So there is a last setting here, that is for that one, we need to go to the preferences here under Windows setting. We need to create a registry. So what we supposed to do exactly, scroll it down, go to the preference. Okay, click on it. Here you have this registry setting, right click on it, click on new and click on registry item. Okay, now first of all, we are supposed to give the key path. So which key path we are supposed to give? So key path is mentioned here in this document for the auto login. So select this and paste it here. Now value name, there you can mention HTTPS. Value type, so here you can select res_dword, and in value data you can mention this same thing. So everything is mentioned in this document, and these are the pre-configured, means pre-decided setting, and all these settings are given by the Microsoft. So we are just trying to replicate it. So this document is going to help you in sequence, and just go ahead and click on apply. Right, so your settings are done here. Now what I will do, settings are done. Just come here, go to CMD and say GP update /force. Minimize this one. Now what we have done, we have created a second virtual machine. Okay, and on that virtual machine, basically, let me go to here, come here on VM1, and this machine is basically added into the domain. So go ahead and click on connect. So now what I can do, instead of doing login with this account Sanjay KA, you can go to the more choices, use a different account. So let's say I'm using Azure admin and at the rate we can mention learning uptech.in and go ahead and click on OK. Okay, so with domain, username and password, you are able to log into your virtual machine now. So what we will do, first you go to server manager. And disable this enhanced security feature. And go to internet, type here https myapps.microsoft.com. Mention the email, that is Azure admin, or because I have logged in with on-prem admin, so I will try on-prem admin @learninghubtech.in and go ahead and click on next. So now you can see it did not ask me for the password. So it is the concept of the single sign-on actually. Okay, so directly it got logged in here. So do not get confused about this link. Through this link, we can access the online application or cloud integrated application. Okay, and with this, your Azure Active Directory is integrated. So when I try to access this URL, I just mentioned my account. With the same account, I had logged in into this virtual machine. So that is the reason it did not prompt me to provide the password here once again, because in the backend, I had enabled the single sign-on. So single sign-on is perfectly fine and working as expected. What we will do now, so single sign-on is working as expected as per the configuration. One thing I want to show, if you just minimize this one and go to your DC01, on this DC01 only, you have installed your Azure AD Connect, right? Just come here and type appwiz.cpl. So when I install the Azure AD Connect, okay, I had selected pass-through authentication. So here you can see that that particular agent is available. Microsoft Azure AD Connect authentication agent is available here, right? And this agent is responsible for the means fetch the request from the queue and deliver it to the on-prem Active Directory for the authentication. And once authentication is done, it will take the session back to the Microsoft Azure Active Directory. So let me go through the same process once again, so you will have a better understanding. Now we have gone through the configuration, so you can visualize the process now. So what we will do, let's go through this once again. So now this particular user is trying to access application. Okay, and this is a cloud application which is integrated with your Microsoft Azure Active Directory. Now what will happen? It will be redirected to your Azure AD sign-in. Azure AD sign-in will say that provide your username and password, right? User will enter their username and password here. Now Microsoft Azure Active Directory will encrypt the password and put this in a queue. Okay. Now what we have done on my DC01, on DC01, I installed my Azure AD Connect. And when I installed my Azure AD Connect, I had selected pass-through authentication. So when I selected the pass-through authentication, this pass-through authentication agent got installed on my DC01. Now what will happen in this case? Now this pass-through agent authentication will pick up the request from the queue. Okay, fifth step. And then it will decrypt the password, because this here the password was encrypted. Now this is going to encrypt the password. Okay, why it is encrypting the password? Because there should not be any problem in between. Encrypted means it will be in non-readable form. Now pass-through agent authentication is going to decrypt it using its private key. After that, it will send it to the on-premises Active Directory and get it validated. If validation is successful or fail also, so result will be returned here. Then it will forward it to the Microsoft Azure Active Directory. Azure Active Directory will give it to the, means complete the sign-in process here, right? So this is how this whole process is working in the pass-through authentication. And the overall conclusion of overall concept of this pass-through authentication is that your password validation is not happening at the cloud level unless it is happening in the on-premises Active Directory level here, and with the help of this pass-through authentication agent. Also, we had selected the single sign-on. So because of that, what happened? I created a virtual machine. I joined that virtual machine into the domain because the single sign-on was enabled in the backend. So once I logged into the virtual machine, after that, it did not ask me for any password when I tried to access myapp.microsoft.com. Okay, so this is how this whole concept of pass-through authentication and a seamless single sign-on works here.